वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
Chairman, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. BI Mumbai Center monthly lecture series normally means one lecture per month, but for October we are having 2 lectures. The earlier one was held on 16th October, that is on latest trends in building information modeling, that is BIM. But the next month, November, begins with Diwali, and most of our regular participants will be on vacation. And we are having this second lecture today. Today's webinar is on understanding letter of credit. It is being jointly organized by BI Mumbai Center and ICICI Bank Limited. I have great pleasure in welcoming you all to the 21st lecture of BI Mumbai Center lecture series meeting. I will also welcome today's keynote speaker, Sri Kishan Indu Das, expert in trade, ICICI Bank Limited, who will enlighten us on the importance in the construction industry of letter of credit or LC, as it is popularly known in business parlance. I thank him for being here today and obliging us. Sri Kishan Indu Das has more than 15 years of experience in trade and treasury, of which last 8 years he has been with ICICI Bank. Friends, as you know, in the construction industry, there are 2 types of letters of credit, commercial and standby. By commercial, LCs are infrequently utilized in the construction business, and standby LCs are the most popular. Contractors and suppliers will need to continue to preserve their payment rights and do everything they can do to ensure they are paid until the construction payment process is overhauled. Bond claims, liens, and lawsuits are some of the possibilities for securing payments. A construction LC is a well-known alternative. They are easy to obtain and don't initiate a lot of paperwork. We'll look at the LCs are, how they differ from bonds, and how they are utilized in the construction business. So without any further ado, let's understand the LC from our eminent speaker. I am sure you all will have a very informative evening, and also wishing you all a very happy Diwali in advance. I also welcome participants who are joining us from overseas. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Mr. Das, you can start. You can unmute yourself.
Divya, can you please share the screen? The PDF format.
Actually,
Sir,
Mr. Das,
I
you don't want to be...
No, sir. Actually, yeah. It's okay, sir. I've got it. What Divya has shown. Now, sir, let me start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Myself, Krishnendu Das. I am the subject matter expert for trade in ICICI Bank. I've joined ICICI Bank in the year 2013. Before that, I was with Bank of Baroda as well as with Axis Bank in Treasury Department. So today we will explore the session in terms of letters of credit. What are the UCP guidelines? Letters of credit are being governed by Uniform Customary Practices for Documentary Credit, and it is governed by International Chamber of Commerce. Now, why letter of credit is required? What are the articles required for letter of credit, wherein you can avail some benefits while issuing the letter of credit? ICICI Bank is offering a bouquet of services in terms of letter of credit, and the facilities that is being offered by ICICI Bank for issuing letters of credit either against fixed deposits or either against limits is exemplary. It's best in the market. We'll discuss on that also. But meanwhile, while letter of credit is required, I will just go through that one. Divya, please go to the next slide. Now, letter of credit, as trade involves risk between the buyers and sellers, there's always a risk between a buyer and seller in different geographies, different laws, customs, ethics, transportations, credit, whatever bit, currency, and sometimes language also. These are all, risks which are involved in any international trade or national trade, in between national trade also. Now, letters of credit is an indispensable uh, say a product which can be used to avoid such kind of risk in international trade. It reduces such kind of risk. But the risks involved like non-payment of delivered goods. The opportunity to get letter of credit also helps in the getting an opportunity to get finance in the interim period between the shipment and the receipt of payment. A presentation of documents should be in line with the terms of credit, and it is irrevocable, and it protects the interest of both the buyer as well as the seller. So if we look, uh, letter of credit is having different facets. It addresses the risk of non-payment by buyer, enthusiasts the owners of compliance to the agreed terms of the credit in terms of quality, timely delivery from the seller, and helps in business development. The most important thing is it helps in the business development in new geographies, while also serve as a financing instrument. Obviously, it serves as a financing instrument. Letters of credit is there, then you can get a finance very quickly from any bank, provided the letter of credit is issued from prime banks and others. Divya, can you go to the next slide, please? Now, letter of credit is an arrangement. As I told, letter of credit is an arrangement uh, whereby the issuing bank guarantees a third party, that is the seller, on a given date as per the agreed terms and conditions, and upon presentation of the compliant document. That means it acts as a guarantee. There is a trade between a buyer and a seller. The buyer issues the letter of credit through his bank. This letter of credit is a guarantee to the seller that if you present the documents in proper condition and as per the terms and conditions of the letter of credit, the bank will make the payment on due course, on due time. So you can see the risks of non-payment is being addressed to for the seller part. For the buyer part, obviously the documents should be proper and should be compliant to the terms and conditions of the letter of credit. So both the risks for both the customer, either for the buyer as well as for the seller, are being addressed to. Divya, next slide, please. Now, this is Divya, slide number 5. If you can go to the slide number 5, please. Yes, thank you. You know how it works. How it works is basically, if you look this diagram, it's very easy to understand that the whole, modus operandi of letter of credit. There's a trade agreement between a buyer and a seller. That's point number 1. Then the buyer and seller comes into an agreement wherein the seller asks that please open an LC in favor of me. That means the buyer has to open an LC. He applies for an LC to his bank. His bank issues the LC. Point number 3, the LC goes to the seller's bank. The seller's bank advises the LC to the seller. These are all within, these all process gets, closed within a day or two. Post issuance of the LC, it takes hardly 1 or 2 days to complete this process. That means the seller receives the LC within T plus 2 days maximum. Max to max T plus 2 days, the seller gets the LC in hand. Post receipt of the LC, he ships the goods to the buyer and submits the documents to his bank. Now, his bank, after receiving the documents from his end, checks whether the document is as per the letter of credit or not. Otherwise, the seller will not get the money in due time, in proper time. They check whether the documents are as per the terms and conditions of the letter of credit or not. Upon satisfaction of that thing, they lodges the bill at their end and sends the document for collection to the buyer's bank. All takes within a day or two, max to max. Buyer's bank intimates the buyer that I have received this document against the LC that you have issued. Now you have to make the payment. The buyer has to make the payment. If it's a site LC, then the buyer has to make the payment immediately upon receipt of the document, that is within 5 working days maximum. Else, the buyer will give an acceptance that on due date, I will make the payment. Based on that acceptance from the buyer that on due date he will make the payment, the LC issuing bank releases the documents to the buyer for getting the goods, for transferring the goods in his own name. That is, the acceptance serves for this purpose. Now, based on that acceptance, the LC issuing bank conveys or transmits the message to the seller's bank that we have received the documents and we will make the payment on due time. The date and other things are being mentioned properly. So herein you look, when the buyer's bank is issuing a LC, they are providing a credit to the seller. Okay, LC means, as I told, it's a type of bank guarantee. It's a type of guarantee that the bank is issuing. So it's a credit, basically. It's an exposure that the bank is taking on the buyer, right? And again, bank is conveying a message to the seller's bank that on due date, I will make the payment. The bank will make the payment. By what? By obviously debiting the buyer's account. But on due date, they are going to make the payment. That means a credit period that the bank is allowing the buyer. That is also a type of credit. There is an exposure. Look, both ways they are taking an exposure on the buyer. Now, seller's bank has received a message that on due date, they will get the payment from the buyer's bank, right? The seller has already dispatched goods worth millions and billions. Okay. Now they are in short of capital. They want to have money for their next order and others. Where to get that money? This acceptance message, which comes from the buyer's bank, acts as an underlying. And they can get their documents discounted on immediate basis. So you look, letter of credit provides funds to both the parties. It acts as a credit financing instrument for both the parties. For buyer on issuance, on intimation, for seller upon receipt of the intimation from the buyer's bank, they can discount and park the proceeds to the seller's bank. So letter of credit is you can say it's a product or it's a medium by which both the buyer and seller can get immense benefit in terms of business development, in terms of credit financing, everything. This is how the letter of credit works. Divya, next slide, please. There are 2 types of letter of credit, as I told. One is a site LC and one is a usance LC. But there are, to be very frank, 4 formats of letter of credit. Format means one is revocable or irrevocable. All the LCs are irrevocable right now. Irrevocable means it cannot be revoked without the consent of both the buyer and seller. Once issued, you have to perform. You cannot cancel the terms and conditions without the consent of both the buyer and seller. All the LCs issued nowadays are all irrevocable in nature. Transferable LC. Transferable LC means herein the beneficiary can change. There might be such a way that a buyer has issued a LC on a seller. The seller at that very moment is not having that goods to ship. He wants that LC to get transferred to another party, another seller, another beneficiary rather. This is a transferable LC. He ships the goods. The main seller, substitutes the documents and submits the documents to his bank. This is how the trade happens. Then back-to-back LC. LC received by a buyer, LC issued by a buyer on a seller. The seller receives the LC. On the basis of that LC, he issues another LC. That LC acts as a underlying. As I told that to open a LC, you require a sales contract or a contract between both the buyer and seller, an agreed contract. This back-to-back LC, the LC that is received by the beneficiary, that the first seller, will act as an underlying for issuance of the next LC. Next, we have revolving LC. Now, what is revolving LC? Sometimes the buyer and seller agrees for a long-term contract wherein the seller will issue, and my apologies, wherein the buyer will issue a LC for a certain value for a certain period. Suppose the LC is issued for $1 lakh and it is revolving in nature. A shipment happens, $1 lakh is used, automatically the credit will stand for another amount for $100,000. It revolves, the credit revolves, say, for 6 months. There will be 6 shipments of $100,000. The total value of the LC will not be $600,000, but only $100,000. Once issued, it will again get revolved into another amount. So it's a revolving LC. Now, type of LC, we have two type of LC. One is a site LC and one is a usance LC. Site LC basically demands payment on the submission of the documents. That is documents against payment type of LC, wherein the buyer and seller agrees into a contract that goods shipped, document submitted, document reaches the buyer's bank. The buyer has to make the payment if the documentations are proper, if the documents are as per the terms and conditions of the letter of credit, and that payment should be done within 5 banking days. Herein the rotation of funds are very quick, very smooth, and there is no credit terms between the buyer and the seller. Next, we have the usance LC. Herein, the payment is done after a certain period of time. Herein, both the buyer and seller agrees for a certain period of time, which is called the usance period. This usance may determine from the date of shipment, date of invoice, date of bill of exchange, whatever be it, as per the terms and conditions between the buyer and seller. Herein the documents are delivered to the buyer upon receipt of the acceptance. Now that I was discussing. If there is a nuisance given by the buyer, rather agreed between the buyer and the seller, might be a good, the product that the buyer is buying from the seller will have a demand after a certain period. Right now it's October end. Might be is importing some, product which can have a demand in the month of December. And he is shipping the goods in October end. The goods will reach to his country, say in the month of November end or November 15th. But the buyer needs time to sell off those goods and get the money. So both buyer and seller comes into an agreement that the payment will be done after 90 days from the shipment date. And the buyer is confident that whatever the goods that he is bringing in, he can sell off within 90 days and make the payment. Herein the seller might have negotiated regarding the price and other things. There is a scope that the seller might negotiate regarding the price. There may not be any discounts and other thing, whatever be it. Now the seller is giving the sending the goods, and he is in short of capital because he has already invested in manufacturing of those goods. The buyer, upon receipt of the document, provides the acceptance, and based on that acceptance, the seller's bank discount his bill to the seller. So look, there is a credit term between both the buyer and seller as well as between the banks. Banks helps in financing the exporter who has exported the goods, and also to the seller that he will be making the payment after a certain period of time. Site LC is very quick, straightforward. You send the documents. If documents are as per the terms and conditions of letter of credit, payments will be done on immediate basis. No worries. Usance, there is a credit period given between the buyer and seller. The documents will be paid accordingly. Divya, next slide. Divya, can you go to the next slide? Yes, thank you. Now, regarding ICICI Bank letter of credit that we want to discuss, ICICI Bank has a facility to avail this product, or the customers of ICICI Bank has a facility to avail this product under both credit or FD back. That means customers can issue letter of credit being a buyer. For this is for the buyers per se. If you look, they can avail the issuance of letter of credit either by fixed deposits or by credit limit. Most importantly, customers who are issuing letters of credit generally from other banks may face a problem regarding turnaround time of letter of credit. They have to submit the documents. Wait for a certain period of time, then the letter of credit gets issued. Herein, any fluctuation of price of the product will impact their business. Suppose the product that they are importing is priced at $1 per kg on a day, and this $1 is constant for 3 days, that is okay. But at the time of LC issuance, this product cost goes up to 1.50 or 1.80. This LC will be of no use then. The seller will decline. So it's a fact that buyers may face this delay because lots of documentation is required. Draft preparation, everything is required on time. So it takes a lot of time. In ICICI Bank, it's very simple. You can issue the LC online from your own office. You don't have to come to the branch, and that is within 24 hours maximum. It is going to get reduced to 6 hours. We are issuing bank guarantees at 3 hours. We have proposed this LC to be issued within 3 hours also, and it's under process. You submit the documents online, you get the LC issued within 3 hours. The SWIFT copy will be generated within 3 hours. It will reach your beneficiary the same day, and you will get the advice on the same day itself within 3 hours. Documentation, regarding documentation, it's very simple with ICICI Bank. It's a 3-page documents that we ask for the clients to submit along with the pro forma invoice. Regarding pricing, ICICI Bank offers the most competitive pricing in terms of LC issuance. Now, these are the facilities that we offer. Apart from that, LCs needs to get customized. There are several clauses of LC which we'll discuss in short after this. These are clauses related to articles of UCP. And customers sometimes face a lot of difficulty in terms of LC issuance regarding the clauses. ICICI Bank offers a customizable LC, which is mutually acceptable to both the buyer and seller. It's very easy, very simple. You can design it as per your own choice. Now, the most important factor apart from that, ICICI Bank has a correspondent banking relationships with 69 countries, which covers 90% of India's trade. All these are major countries which covers 90% of India's flow of business. And LCs can be advised by any bank. As on date, we have 5,500 banks with whom we are having arrangements with for advising of LC. That's one of the benefits or USPs that we are having, and is the best in the industry. ICICI Bank's LC is having global acceptance in nature. You can get your finances done very easily if LCs are issued from ICICI Bank for your beneficiaries. Divya, can you go to the PowerPoint presentation, please? We'll discuss about the few UCP articles which you face on regular basis when you are issuing the LCs, and wherein you can get a benefit. Just like to discuss a few things over there, few articles over there, which are required for issuance of LCs. Divya, can you go to the PPT, please? Thank you. Go to the first, second slide. Thank you. Now, as we all know, banks, in letter of credit, banks deal with documents and not with goods. So whatever happens to the goods on an exporter per se or an importer per se, bank will deal with the documents only. Goods damaged, destroyed, whatever be it, has to be certified. Banks will deal with the documents only. Herein, in letters of credit also, there is another article that we like to discuss, is that there are close to some 60-70 articles which is there in letters of credit, but we'll discuss a very few which is required in day-to-day business for issuance of letters of credit. As I told, irrevocable letter of credit. There is an article 10A. If you look, a credit can neither be amended or cancelled without the consent of issuing bank, confirming bank, if any, and the beneficiary. That means the applicant, the buyer, cannot himself modify any terms and conditions of the letter of credit until the same is approved by the beneficiary or the issuing bank or the confirming bank. Now, what is a confirming bank? Confirming bank is a bank. Suppose we are issuing a LC on any country, and that country's bank, rather that customer on whom we are issuing the LC, wants this LC to be confirmed. That's yes, ICICI Bank is issuing the LC, that is fine, but I want my LC to be confirmed that I will prepare and manufacture the goods accordingly. Then what happens? There is another bank available globally who will step into the shoes of ICICI Bank. That bank is called the confirming bank. That if ICICI Bank has issued the LC, I am confirming. If ICICI Bank fails to make the payment, I am going to make the payment. This I am going to make the payment bank will be the confirming bank. He steps into the shoes of the issuing bank, that if issuing bank fails to make the payment, this confirming bank will make the payment. Next is in this general articles, we will discuss that a credit must state whether it is available by sight, deferred payment, acceptance, or negotiation. That means whenever a buyer and seller is entering into a terms and condition, that is a pro forma invoice being drawn, that pro forma invoice should state whether the payment will be at sight or there is some deferment of payment or by acceptance, whatever be it. And the same should be inscribed in the letter of credit, so that there is no ambiguity between the buyer and seller regarding the payment. So these are all very small terms and conditions and rather on letter of credit. These are articles. Diva, can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Now herein, as I told, if you just remember refer to the diagram that was been given, the seller sends the document through his documents through his bank to the LC issuing bank upon dispatch of the goods. Herein what happens? The document that the seller has submitted might be discrepant. There might be some minor discrepancies which are not compliant to the terms and conditions of the letter of credit. There might be some discrepancies, major discrepancies, whatever be it, as per the terms and conditions of the letter of credit. There might be some discrepancies. The LC states that all the invoice and other things should have the LC number. All the documents should have LC number. There might be some documents who has missed the LC number. So these are discrepancies. Might be the date of shipment, last date of shipment was 31st of October. Might be the seller has missed that date and he has shipped after 31st of October. So whatever be, there are discrepancies in that. Now, if you look, the issuing bank, before making the payment, okay, obviously he may decline the payment because the documents that are presented are discrepant in nature. But herein, he may approach the applicant for waiver of such discrepancies. So it's between the buyer and seller. The trade is between the buyer and seller. The bank is acting as an agent over here or a medium over there, but he is guaranteeing the payment. That if the buyer fails to make the payment, then I will make the payment. So herein what happens, the onus is on the applicant that he may waive the discrepancies at his sole judgment. So there might be instances, there might be times wherein goods are shipped and documents are presented discrepant in nature, but as there is a very good terms and conditions between the buyer and seller, these discrepancies can be waived off accordingly. Another article I would like to discuss is that if you look, a nominated bank acting on its nomination, a confirming bank, if any, and the issuing bank shall have 5 banking days. It means what? Seller has shipped the goods and submitted the documents to his bank. His bank sent the documents to the issuing bank. Now, after that, after dispatch of the documents to the issuing bank, the issuing bank has to address the document within 5 days for examination, whether the documents are as per the terms and conditions of the LC, whether there is any discrepancy or not, whatever be it, they have to address that document within 5 banking days. They cannot keep it, open. They cannot keep it pending for long. It has to be within 5 banking days. So the TAT, as I told, it LC, protects from risk of non-payment and other things, timely delivery of goods. There is a timely address of documents is also there. Also a inherent quality of LC. Trade moves very smoothly for this. LC is one of the, so I told, one of the best medium to develop new business as well as avoid any risk to your business. Divya, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, thank you. Now, this is regarding transport. Whatever the goods are being shipped through in any transport medium, either by rail, by bus, by lorry, whatever be. Sorry, I'm not by bus, rail, lorry, or by ship or by air. The transport must indicate the name of the carrier and must be signed by the carrier or his named agent. That means whatever the mode of transport and the carrier name details must be available in the transport document. Sometimes LC may not call for a transport document. Sometimes what happens, goods are transferred from one location to very nearest location, and LCs are issued after receipt of goods. So the LC may not call for a transport document, but it is mandatory to present a transport document from the seller's end. It is mandatory. Divya, can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. These are the most important fact over there is article number 27 is that the bank will only accept a clean transport document bearing no defective condition of goods or packaging. Now, whenever a buyer and seller is entering into a trade agreement, the supply for these many goods, the buyer must not accept any defective or damaged goods, obviously. That's a fact. And whenever the goods are getting transported on a ship or by air or by lorry or by rail, if the master, that means the owner of the ship or the master of the ship, gives a document that he has received damaged goods and issues the bill of lading or issues the transport document accordingly, it becomes a vague document. We cannot apply the terms and conditions of letters of credit over there. Document should be in proper condition, well packaged, and in good condition. So they should mention document goods received in this condition, My apologies. It should be not documents. It should be goods. Goods received in this condition, packed in these cardboards and other things. Accordingly, the transport document will be issued. Otherwise, it becomes a major discrepancy. And discrepancy, whenever there is a discrepancy, the issuing bank of LC has the authority to deduct a certain amount for each discrepancy from the LC amount. Sometimes it may go up to USD 150 per discrepancy, sometimes $100 per discrepancy. So it dents the profit of the seller. So sellers should try to provide proper documentation, 100% compliant to the letter of credit. ICICI Bank offers that facility. Before submission of the documents, that LC vetting documents can be done, whether these documents are as per the terms and conditions of the LC or not. This is a specialized department that ICICI Bank is having, and anyone can avail the benefits for that one. Divya, next slide, please. Now, no, better to the last slide. These are all terms and conditions. These are normal terms and conditions, such as hearing. Bank has no obligation to accept a presentation outside banking hours. That means the buyer's bank who is receiving the documents, or the seller's bank who is receiving the submission of rather where the documents are submitted, should be done within banking hours. It should not be after banking hours. Then it will be considered the next day. So that's one of the most important factor that you should take care for this. That submission of documents should be done within banking hours and not outside banking. So, sir, I have discussed few important UCP articles. There are a lot of UCP articles which may be discussed, but these are basically, important terms and conditions for issuance of letters of credit that I have discussed upon submission of documents. So I will request you, now you can open the session for question and answers, if any. So. Am I audible, sir? Yes, sir.
I'm not audible. I'm not audible. I was on mute. Anyway, participants are requested to raise their hands using the facility in the app if they have any queries. In the meantime, Mr. Das, there's one query. Is IBA approved transporter must for LC vendors?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. This is as per Reserve Bank of India order that all transport operators for inland LCs, that means LCs issued within India, must be approved by Indian Bank Association. So whenever you are sourcing any transport operator to move your goods from one place to another, you have to just check whether the same operator has been approved by IBA or not.
Thank you. Then anybody has raised his hand? No. So I think you have what exactly is a letter of credit and why do we make use of it? That you have answered. I think Nagar sir, our national secretary, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Unmuted.
Yeah, please.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
ours is an organization of contractors.
Yes, sir.
We are working with government departments. Our huge payments are pending with them.
Yes, sir.
Can we get this facility of your LCs? And can we get the payment against our work executed with, against our bills pending with government? Against those
So
bills,
not only with government,
With
but also
with developers also or private work.
with developers also. When you are offering any service, yours is not a wherein you are not providing any, rather you are not transporting any goods from one place to another. Okay, you are just providing a service. It's basically service contract that you enter into, right?
Yeah.
So based on the service contract, your customers can open an LC, okay, upon you, wherein after generation of the services or after the services that is been given by you, there may be a third party inspection certificate which can, confirm that the that the services as per the letters of credit has been given.
Yeah.
Suppose, I can give an example over there. Say AMC of a certain product, okay,
Hmm.
annual maintenance of a certain product. Now the owner of that product may issue an LC upon any one of you for AMC, that means for the maintenance part.
Hmm.
So after the maintenance, after providing that service to you, there might be a third party delivery, third party inspection, whether the service has been provided is okay or not,
Hmm.
whatever be it. Based on that inspection, and you have to submit that inspection certificate and other things to the bank. Bank will send that document to the developer on who has opened the LC, okay,
Hmm.
and you can get the payment very easily. So we are discounting service LCs also, either be it from private vendors, either be it from the government also. We are doing it, sir.
No, actually, what is my question? My bill is certified by the authority. Particularly, for example, it may be executive engineer or it may be an architect.
Okay.
When that bill is certified by that authority, and if he writes to my bank or
Hmm.
your bank,
Hmm.
so Baba, this much is paid, we are liable to pay this man. He has given the services of so many lakhs or so many crores.
Hmm.
Against that later, can I get the payment from the bank?
Yes,
That
sir.
is
I will just explain you once more.
But
Suppose
please,
I am the principal.
sir,
I am the
sir,
principal.
sir, you please explain in simple language, not
My
technical
simple.
or not your
Yeah.
banking.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine, sir.
please.
Suppose I am the principal, sir. Okay.
Hmm.
I have a product where you are providing the maintenance services. Okay.
Hmm.
Correct. Now I enter into a contract with you wherein I say after the services is over, the maintenance services that should be valuated or inspected by another third party.
Hmm.
Okay. Now this third party document that he has inspected and found that the services are okay, everything has been done. You have to submit that certificate to your bank.
Hmm.
Your bank will send that document to my bank. I can make the payment on immediate basis, or I can make the payment on due course. Okay. It happens, sir. We are doing it on day in, day out basis, sir.
What type of guarantee you will require in it?
Sir, I require a LC from the principal drawn on you. You will be the beneficiary.
If government authority where I am working, where I am giving my services, suppose I
Yes.
I am constructing a building for them, and if
Yes.
50% of that work is completed, duly certified by the department, and if department writes to my bank,
Hmm.
Mr. So and so has completed a work of rupees 50 lakhs, says, for example, and we are liable to pay that amount to him. Against that letter, my bank, how can my bank pay to me on
Sir,
that
it's
letter?
very simple. Very simple. As I told, I will just explain you once more. Suppose I am the principal. Okay. I enter into a contract with you.
Yeah.
I issue a letter of credit on you for providing a service or construction of building. Okay. And in that LC, I mention that whatever, suppose 25% job is done, there might be a certificate issued by another third party and sent to the LC issuing bank. Okay. So you do 25% of your job work. You get that job work verified by another third party, get that certificate and send it to the LC issuing bank. The payment may be as per the terms and conditions. It may be under site. That means within 5 banking days or after a certain period of time, you will get the payment. It is service LC. We are doing it day in, day out basis, sir.
If I have account with your bank,
yes,
and if that letter is come to your bank, can you pay against that bill to me directly?
No, sir.
Then
if it is against a LC, I am again confirming it is against a LC. I will send that document to the LC issuing bank. Okay, and I have to get that acceptance.
No, no.
I have to get that acceptance. Based on that acceptance, I will make you the payment.
No, no. If your bank is a LC issuing bank,
Hmm.
then in that case, what are the requirements of your bank to get that benefit from your bank as a LC bank?
If my bank is LC issuing bank,
Hmm.
okay, and you are having an account with us, with ICICI Bank, you submit the documents to your branch will be sending the documents to the LC issuing branch. Okay, they will give that acceptance that payment will be done within 90 days, 60 days, whatever be it. Upon receipt of that acceptance, I will discount and make the payment to you.
If government will say, we will give this payment whenever possible for us, in that case, what will you do?
No, sir. No, sir, we cannot.
Government is giving you assurance, no?
Sir, whatever be it. Any contract should be governed by a specific time period
Hmm.
and should be valid by a, by an instrument. Either government issues the letter of credit, fantastic, no issues, I will go and discount it for you.
Hmm.
But apart from that, you need to have a bill purchase limit for that purpose.
No, that is what my actually requirement, because most of our contractors, in thousands crores, our bills are pending with government.
Hmm.
Those payments are not paid to us for last 4 years. In that case, how your bank or whatever.
Sir, I need to have a bill purchase limit for you for that purpose. If it is against LC, I can go ahead very easily. I can go ahead and discount your bills. But apart from that, I need to have a specific limit against you to discount your bills.
In that case, what will be your requirements of documents?
Sir, that will be requirement of documents for credit limit, for limit, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I will get back to you. I guess Divya is having your contact details. I will definitely get back to you on this.
Thank you, Nagvekar sir. Mr. Das, Mr. Nagvekar is the National Secretary for Builders Association of India.
Okay, sir. I
And
will
now
get back
we
to
have
you.
Mr. Niro Parmar, who is the National Vice President.
Yes, sir.
Taking him, Mr. Niro Parmar.
Yeah, in fact, what Mr. Nagvekar, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. In fact, what Mr. Nagvekar was asking you, Mr. Das, is with respect to bill discounting. And
Right,
I think
sir.
there is an overlap between LC and this, because that will happen only if the government department opens an LC, which is impossible from
Correct,
the
sir.
government side. So, in order to fulfill Mr. Nagvekar's requirement, you have to provide them bill discounting facility. That's what I understood from that.
Absolutely right, sir.
Okay, so in fact, we had been talking with ICICI to take a lecture on bill discounting during the last lecture itself, because that will cater to the 90% of the contractors who are attending here and also those who are not attending here. That is one
Right, sir.
aspect. So I think that is one thing, and which we definitely look forward for bill discounting and what are the procedures. Because unless the government department doesn't open an LC, you will not be able to pay to any of the contractors against this instrument. I mean,
Correct,
in
sir.
absence of any instrument to
Correct,
that
sir.
effect. Okay. Second thing, how you differentiate between inland LC with respect to documentation aspect and outside the country. Because outside the country is what we normally take every time.
Yes, sir.
But inland
For
LC, how does
inland
it
LC,
differ?
yeah, I will come. There is a differentiate look. In terms of documentation, inland LC is governed by the rules of certain rules of CGST, certain rules of Reserve Bank of India. FEMA is not mandatory in terms of inland LC. Now, governed by laws in terms means inland LC is as per IBA, rather RBI has confirmed is that, rather dictated is that any transport document should be accompanied by the e-way bill. Now, what is e-way bill as per CGST rules? I guess you are aware of. So
Yeah,
any
fully
e-way
aware.
bill,
Go ahead, please.
yeah. So if it is the basic difference is only that, sir. There is no such difference. If the LC clauses say you have to provide this many number of documents, this many number of photocopies, this many number of originals, you have to provide that thing. Only difference over here, Inland LCs is majority used for, is used as a financing instrument, basically. So herein the genuinity of the trade is only can be established if we if the same is submitted along with the EUA bill. It
Okay, and one
genuinates
thing
the
which you
Yes, sir.
again clarified few minutes back is for inland LC, the transporter should be approved by IBA. I
Yes,
think
sir.
which we were not aware of it.
Yes, sir.
That is controlled by IBA in that aspect.
Yes, sir.
And my second question is, what are the charges which ICICI
Sir,
charges for an LC?
Uh,
To understand that,
it's-
at least a fraction or a percentage in terms of, I'm not asking in
Sir,
terms of whole figures, but
it
in
can
terms of
it can it
percentage.
can it can go up to 0.30 per annum to say below even 0.30 per annum to 0.75 per annum. We charge on an annum basis, not on a flat basis.
So 0.3 to 0.75. So at an average, can we take it as 0.5?
You can say that, yes.
Okay, and in case of revolving LC, even if you are, as you said, 6 lakh US dollars is the total sale of goods to be done with a 1 lakh USD limit sanctioned. And if you do 6 transactions, but as long as it is within one
The expiry
calendar
period.
year,
Within the expiry
Yeah.
period, sir. Within the expiry
no,
period.
within the one calendar year, which you're charging 0.5.
Yeah.
So will it be on transaction basis or it will be on 6 times?
No, it will not be on transaction basis, sir. We will issue the letter of credit for $100,000, but it will be revolved. Hello,
Yeah, please, please
Mr.
go ahead.
Mr. Parmar.
Yeah,
We'll be issuing the LC for
I'm listening. Tell me,
$100,000.
sir.
We'll be issuing the LC for $100,000. But each time when the LC amount gets reinstated, we'll be charging the same.
So you are saying it will be as per the transaction, right?
Yes. Suppose you complete the deal
LC
after
charges will be as
5.
per transaction and not as per the.
No, it will be as per transaction.
Yeah.
What happens if you complete your trade after 3 shipments, okay, and you do not want to continue for another 3 shipments, you can close off the deal at that very moment. We will not charge a single paisa over there.
Okay, fine. I am done with it. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, my name is Saurabh Manjrekar. I have a question for you. In terms of, so say that, we go ahead, the client sort of opens the LC on us, and then we submit, the goods are supplied, and we submit all the documents. And then the client, there's a discrepancy as per the client, and the client does not accept the discrepancies. You briefly covered that in your presentation as well. So how do we handle that kind of a situation where the
Look, you just think on the reverse way out. Okay, you have issued the LC, right?
Yes.
You have issued the LC. Don't think from the exporter's point of view. If you think from the importer's point of view, it will be very easy to understand. You have issued the LC. Now you have to pay after you receive the products and other things. Okay, now you can find that the documents are discrepant. Discrepant in the sense, if the documents are discrepant, might not be that the goods are discrepant. Okay, but documents are discrepant. Discrepant in the sense you wanted that all the documents must be having the LC number. Okay, on it.
Yes.
There are some documents wherein the LC number was not there. So it becomes a discrepancy. Now the onus is on the applicant and the applicant's bank whether to waive this off or not.
No, that is correct, but say the applicant,
if the applicant doesn't want to,
the
applicant doesn't want to waive this one, you have to again submit the documents again properly to your bank. Your bank has to again send the documents. Your payment gets delayed. ICICI Bank is
deliberately want to do that. So how do we?
Sometimes no. Look, there is a way of challenging the discrepancies also. Okay, if there are discrepancies which, look, what happens, ICC has already clearly mandated that typo errors are not discrepancies. Earlier, what used to happen, there is a typo error, some spelling mistake and other things. This was considered as a discrepancy long ago. When I was in nationalized banks, we used to see that. Now, UCP has governed this thing. There is a clause that typo error should not be considered as a discrepancy. This should not be considered as a discrepancy. And look, no, even the buyer and the seller entering into an agreement, the buyer is also having an urgency to take delivery of the goods. Okay. The seller is also in urgency of getting the money. Buyer is also in urgency of getting delivery of the goods. In any circumstances, the buyer, if he finds that yes, these discrepancies are, not so significant and can be waived off, I can easily say that it's between the terms and conditions between the buyer and
So,
seller.
so
There
there's
are buyers
nothing we
of it.
can do. That means there's nothing we can do. It's up to the
It can
buyer
be
to waive the
challenged.
discrepancy.
It can be challenged only by your bank. If you find that the discrepancies are not very significant and can be challenged, you can ask your bank to take it forward. You can challenge these discrepancies.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Any other questions, sir?
Anyone? Madhu, unmute yourself, please.
Pardon, sir?
No, I'm talking to Madhu. So how about how you can know that the genuinity of the LC? Hello?
Hello, sir. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How you come to know about the genuinity of the LC?
Look, the LC is being issued by yes. What happens? There is a concept of I've told you advising bank. Now the role of advising bank suggests what there are few banks involved in a letter of credit. One is the issuing bank, one is the advising bank, one is the negotiating bank, one is the nominated bank, one is the confirming bank, and one is the reimbursing bank. So there are several terms and conditions, rather several job roles of a bank in terms of letter of credit. Now LC is being issued by, say, I will take two names, by ABC Bank Limited. They have issued the LC. It comes to ICICI Bank. Now my beneficiary is with ICICI Bank. I have received that LC from ABC Bank Limited. I will check the genuinity of the LC by the terms and conditions, by the MT 700 and other things. Now, there is a RMA agreement between the issuing bank and the advising bank. Okay, there is an agreement between them. I will check whether this LC is issued by that bank or not. If I have an agreement in between us, then only this LC issuing bank can send a format of LC to me. That is MT 700. If there is no agreement, then they cannot send me a MT 700. Okay. So this proves, and I will check the genuinity and I will advise my beneficiary that this LC is genuine. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I've heard that in Africa they issue the bogus LCs. That's a thing.
Yeah. In Africa, what happens? There are 20-30 buyers come together. They form a bank sort of thing. They send the SWIFT message, and sometimes they issues the LC like this. And if you are fallen in trap, you are gone. Yeah, you are right, sir. Absolutely right. So that is why there are, no RMA agreements with those banks. This type of banks, even for establishment of RMA, it takes months to do this RMA arrangement. They check, both of us check. Pardon, sir?
What is the way to deal with such banks?
No. If it is advised properly, then you can go ahead. If it is not advised, then please do not go ahead.
Okay.
There is a book. Being an association, I can request you for your benefit. There is a book named Bankers Almanac. There's a book named Bankers Almanac. You can buy it for your members also. What happens? You can find all the banks names who are available in this globe right now. Okay. All the banks, the details of all the banks, whether it is available or not. The latest version will have every details. If you find this bank is having this many details, this is the total number of employees, total number of branches, this is the book size, this is everything. If you find that it is ordered, you can advise your clients to go ahead. Otherwise, you can discourage the proposal.
Okay. And what are the difficulties faced by the seller or purchaser during your this thing LCs? Can you explain some of the give examples for that?
Pardon, sir, I didn't get you. Come again, please, sir. Your voice is echoing.
Examples, the people who facing difficulties in getting LC.
Sir, look, if the pro forma invoice is absolutely okay, fine. There is a requirement of LC. Both the buyer and seller.
Oh, you got
Yeah. Both the buyer and seller agrees for a issue, establishment of a letter of credit, the terms and conditions, everything. The buyer and seller agrees upon these many number of documents required and other things. LCs are very smooth to open. Number one. Number two, requirement of margin and other things. ICICI Bank has this facility of, LCs can be issued either against fixed deposits or against limits. Now, if you want to go for a limit, there might be an evaluation of your proposal. There might be an evaluation of your financials, audited financials and other things, but we take very less number of days to address that one. And regarding fixed deposit, we are issuing LCs within 3 hours.
Okay.
So it's available. No such challenges with us, sir. I haven't faced so many challenges.
Mr. Subhash Jha want to ask a question.
Mr. Subhash Jha, please.
Hi sir, hello sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
everyone. Sir, my question is that suppose we are having all facilities like LC, BCs, whatever, but we are facing some issues in the front of issuance of LC in front of timing. Like just earlier we have discussed, LC it's to be issued by bank within hours, 2 hours or within day. But some banks are issuing, it's taking time, so a lot of times around 5 to 10 days or 15 days.
Yes, sir. What happens? I would like to explain. I got your point, sir. I got your point.
Any regulator where we can go and
Sir, there is no requirement of any regulator. What I like to request you, there might be issues. What happens? Look, LC is an agreement. Okay, LC is an agreement that a buyer is entering into with his bank. Okay. Now, if the buyer fails to make the payment, the bank will pay. It's basically a guarantee that I told. So every facets of LC should be checked. Now, one thing I would like to request you, before issuing the LC, you might be asking or requesting your banker for a draft issuance. If you check that the draft is okay.
Sir, my question is, everything is okay, but banks are taking a lot of time. Or
Sir,
or overcharging. Like, so where we can go, there we can raise the complaints or
sir, look, charges and other things, I may not be the right person.
Regulate the things.
Sir, regarding charges and other things.
What is the certain limits for any rules or guidelines?
Sir, there are no rules regarding charges for any banks. Okay, RBI did not even specify that charges should be this much amount. Okay, so obviously you can raise it to ombudsman, no doubt about it. But there is no the benchmark for any charges and any sort of thing. Regarding delay, obviously it can be addressed upon. You can contact your bank or you can change your bank. I can assure you the best of services can be given from our bank itself. You can enjoy that one.
That is not an easy change of bank. That is not an easy, but how we can resolve the things. So any government regulator is there?
Sir, I don't think for delay and other reasons you can raise this to apart from ombudsman. You can raise it to RBI ombudsman only. For any sort of delay that has happened and you have lost a business opportunity and others, you can raise it to the highest level of the bank and you can raise the matter to RBI ombudsman also.
Okay. So existing experience you have, anything like something happened with ICICI Bank?
Sir, I haven't faced anything of that sort, any delay or any sort of that thing.
But
regarding
you have
charges, we are very transparent regarding charges. Whatever we debit, we ask you before you give the confirmation, then only we debit. Apart from that, there are no charges that we levy, and it's very much available in our website also. The charges and other things, we keep it very simple, very smooth. I haven't faced such difficulties.
Because discrepancy charges is something wide. That is discrepancy charges. So banks usually they charge overcharging, like something they pick any regions and whatever they're charging the discrepancy charges. So
sir, discrepancy charges are agreed between the buyer and seller. Okay, whenever the seller and buyer is entering into a contract, and when the buyer is issuing the LC, he has conveyed that, look, if any discrepant documents are there, my bank will charge $1,000 or $100 for each discrepancy. So you better prepare your documents accordingly. If that is mentioned, the seller gets aware of that. Yes, if I prepare any discrepant document, I may get some money less, which will dent my profit. So herein I should prepare the documents accordingly. Number one. Regarding discrepancy charges, when the other bank is issuing, it has to be taken up by the seller and the buyer in between. Banks, the exporter bank and the importer bank has very less role to
Sir,
play.
can I get the what is the like discrepancy is the white word. So which type of misdocumentation or something is covered under discrepancy? So that
So
is the
there are
kind
so
of
many,
risk
there are so many cases. There are so many cases. Suppose insurance is as per the contract, as per the LC, insurance of any LC should be taken as 110%. Now the seller instead of 110% has provided an insurance of 100%. It becomes a major discrepancy. This is not as per LC. There
Sir,
might be
this is
say,
okay. So this is to vary to bank or something. It is the some.
sir, every discrepancy is as per LC. It doesn't vary to bank to bank. If LC states this many number of documents required, these are the things required in the document. If it is not there, this becomes a discrepancy.
Okay. So there is no any regulator for regulate the things whatever bank are demanding. So we have to give or something they will charge.
Yes,
If
sir.
something is there. So but okay, fine. But they can charge what is the discrepancy that is. I think so. It should be some any government bodies there. It's to be. I think so. Okay, let's check. So what is
Yes, sir. Sure. If
yeah.
you need any support, please give us a call, sir. I will be happy to help you out, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Niruparma? Niruparma wants to answer. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to clarify that if any other questions are not there, then I will take a question. That's all. You can ask other members also.
But you are the last person to ask the question.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Das, one thing what we have observed in the corporate is the delay is mainly because of the non-submission of documents from the parties. And second thing is for drawing foreign exchange, FEMA clearance takes time. That is,
sir,
that also
it
takes
was,
a couple of
I guess,
times.
sir, if you don't mind, sir, the second point that you told, FEMA clearance for getting foreign exchange, it happened to be in the FERA age, sir, not in FEMA.
FERA, sorry, I said FERA, yeah. So in that set, that part of it, I think that is one aspect which is there. But nowadays, we are trying to overcome by having a proper checklist which is required. So before we enter into a contract, before we go ahead, these things can be eliminated.
Yes, 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 sir.
But
Absolutely
invariably,
right.
it takes time, even though you might be issuing in 6 hours or 5 hours, which you are claiming, which is very good. But to start that 5 hours, you will need at least 2-3 days to start that 5 hours for order to take up that thing further.
No, sir. Till that, we are issuing it within 5 hours time, sir.
So issuance doesn't take time. Compliance takes time.
Compliance, if it is as per the, sir, have you ever, utilized our trade online services? Any type of banking solutions under trade online services, whether it is an outward remittance, whether be it import payment, whether be it an export payment or receipt, whatever be it. Have you ever witnessed it, sir? I will just
we
like
have
to
done
ask,
transfers and all that, but this foreign exchange we
no.
have not
Have
done.
you done through ICICI Bank, sir? I guess no.
No, I think I will not
Divya,
go into a particular bank because we will
no,
not go
sir.
into
I
that
will not ask you to do, sir. I will not ask you to do, sir. I don't want. I want to make it compulsory. Divya, if you are there, can you please mail the YouTube link for our trade online to sir?
Sure,
he's,
sure.
Mr. Das, Mr. Niruparma is Vice President, Senior Vice President, Procurement and Contracts, Shapurji Palaji.
Okay, sir. So I will send you, sir, that YouTube link. You just go once, sir, over there. You will find it very easy to, complete the documents and the timing that if it is quite, transparent, if the customers also feel that it is transparent and the documents can be given properly, why there should be a delay, sir?
Fine, I think we'll appreciate that. Kindly send across that.
Yeah, yes, sir.
We'll just go
I
through
will,
that.
sir. Yeah, yes,
Sure,
sir.
sure.
Divya, kindly
Thank you.
send that YouTube link to sir on immediate basis. Sir, my mail ID and other things will be given. You can call me at any point of time.
Thank you. No problem.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
I think we'll have the vote of concluding remarks and vote of thanks from our treasurer, Mr. Aniruddha Nakwa. Mr. Nakwa, the floor is yours.
Good evening, friends. It was indeed a very informative and knowledge session from Shri Krishnendu Das, who is subject matter expert from Trade ICICI Bank, letter of credit and its operations under LC, important articles of uniform customs and practice for documentary credits and international commercial terms. What is the right time to target the LCN so that maximum benefits can be achieved? We got to learn from this how laws of land impact it and how LC is enforced with these laws, particularly right from Article 5, 6A, 10 to 27 articles, how this can be implemented, how ICICI Bank becomes the catalyst between the manufacturer, seller, and the buyer across the global boundaries. I thank the interactive sessions between question answers between Mr. Pradeep Nagvekar ji, Nirav Parmar ji, Saurabh Manjrekar, and how this can be, how LC can be opened for construction industry, especially the civil service industry, both in government as well as the private sector. Friends, I thank our Vice President, West Zone, Mr. Nirav Parmar, for being there here. I thank Honorary General Secretary Pradeep Nagvekar ji to be here. I thank overseas participants from Sri Lanka and Pakistan and dignitaries of ICICI Bank. I once again thank Krishnendu Das ji for such a wonderful presentation. Finally, I thank all the participants who are there, who participated in this session. And I wish you all happy Diwali and prosperous New Year from Builders Association of India. Thank you, friends.
And thank
Mr. Das, tell me.
you for organizing such a beautiful webinar also.
Mr. Das wants to say something. Mr. Das?
Sir, on behalf of ICICI Bank, we like to wish all of you a very happy and prosperous New Year and a happy Diwali to all of you and your family members.
Yes,
Stay
thank
safe
you very much.
and enjoy safely.
Mr. Alok, happy Diwali to you also, to your family, and happy Diwali to everybody. Those who want to exchange thoughts, they can unmute themselves.
Mr. Alok, can you organize one more webinar with
Bill discounting.
bill discounting?
Sure, sir. We can do that, sir. Definitely. I will be in touch with Sanjeeva. We will definitely.
Mr. Das, can you appear on screen? We are not seeing your face.
Madhu, I hope you can stop the recording now.
Maybe in the next session, sir. Don't worry, sir.
No, otherwise.
I'm working from home, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Okay, sir.
Chalo, bye, I think.
Since you are a banking, we call
Yes, sir.
Lakshmi ki murti kai hoti hai. Lakshmi pati.
Sir, sure, sir. Next session, I will be there definitely.
Yeah.
Might be in that bill discounting with the
Please.
Thank you.
We're
Thank
looking
you,
forward
sir.
to bill
Thank you.
discounting.
Thank you very much.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think, Chairman sir, I'm closing it.
Okay. Happy Diwali to everyone.
Yeah.
Happy Diwali, Happy New Year to everybody.